Morning, folks. Cliff Manning's here. I want to explain to you just for a minute why Mr. Cruz remains my number 2 pick in the upcoming Republican presidential primaries and hopefully the election. Been a registered Republican ever since I was 18 years of age, which will have been like 1979. Party's kind of let me down a few times over the year. Especially with the people trying to, can't we just get along? So here's why Mr. Cruz remains my number 2 pick as a presidential nominee instead of having the top slot. We've had enough of this toss them under the bus mentality that comes out of the GOP establishment in Washington, D.C. We've had enough of that under Mr. Obama, the current person that they say is the president. Had Mr. Cruz stood up for our party, not necessarily Mr. Trump as an individual, but for our party, when the protesters started trying to shut down people's First Amendment right to conduct a rally and to exercise their right of free speech, then I wouldn't have had much of a problem with him. I wouldn't have had much heartburn. A lot of people talk about these your wife did this, your wife did that thing that went on over the past week. Those two events kind of canceled each other out. Offsetting penalties replay the down, as football people would say. But Mr. Cruz threw our entire party, not just the opposing candidate, under the bus when he said it should have been leadership from the top and refused to support Mr. Trump when those were paid protesters going in to disrupt a Republican rally. Mr. Trump is currently running as a Republican. If anybody attacks a member of the party, you stand side to side with them and you defend the party first and foremost. This shows to me that Mr. Cruz isn't exactly as much of a Republican Party member as he was like people to think.